doing its own thing. I don't know. I'm just getting a little bit more situated. Mommy Mercy. Mommy Mercy in the hallway. Mommy Mercy in the hallway. Praise and power. And welcome to a Sunday Moment of Harmony. Every moment is a special moment to me. Because anytime that we bring our love and light and our resources together, it is always a time where I am profoundly grateful that there are like-minded individuals that want to see a change in themselves, that want to reverberate a change in the universe and in life, that want to be the great gold of this existence. I'm always super excited when we have our time together, we get our moment. So every moment is a special moment to me. Sunday moments are especially sacred to me because I grew up where Sundays were very important. And as I learned, it's your recalibration through the week. And as I grew up and, made friends and connected with other beings, maybe because I wasn't talking much today, because I swear now all of a sudden, all the stuff is happening. Excuse me, mommy mercy. As I grew up, I realized that Sunday is really generally a sacred time, not just for me and mine, but many people see Sundays as this very beautiful sacred day. Again, a day of recalibration, spiritual practices, religious rituals, and family time, quiet time, rest. So anytime you guys give me mommy mercy and grant me a beautiful Sunday moment with you and with us together, it is always super sacred to me, and I never want to take it for granted. If you are not watching me in real time and you're watching on a playback day and it's a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, thank you for bearing with me. But for those that do take the time out to sit through an hour of a moment of harmony in real time, take part in the chat, give the likes, do the stuff, sit here with me in conversation and commune. I want to especially say thank you. You could have been anywhere else on your Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You could have been doing so many other things on your Sunday. And so I'm beyond grateful that you would choose to come and sit with me on this Sunday, beautiful Sunday moment, if you live in the DMV area. And just in this season, I would even just say on the east side, eastern side of the United States. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So let's have a beautiful moment. Let's have a quick moment. Our moment is much later than it normally is if you are on normal time. I was 2 seconds from moving it to a Monday moment or a weekday moment, but I did that last week and I did not want to put my exchanges through that again, trying to figure out when the next moment would be and trying to catch it. And really, it's harder for us to get all on one algorithm when I'm moving the moment so much. So it's best for me to stay in one space, even though life does not always accommodate that. It's best for me to keep it in one space so you guys know where to be and how to show up. And it can keep you all informed, and it doesn't have to keep jacking up the numbers, because it's jacking up the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And the numbers, not that they're the most important thing, but they do help with the algorithm, and they help to move moments to people all over the world. And at the end of the day, as many moments as we can get makes us, I feel, will make us better. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get the moments that we stop, that we breathe, that we exhale, that we exchange, and get them in. So thank you again. It's been a super eventful weekend for me, a super eventful weekend for my family. Yesterday, my mother did the garden for murder victims in honor of my baby brother Victorious. Whew, okay. Today there's a clarion call to many of the organizations, not one in particular, but I believe that specifically it's coming under my mother as well, as far as the organizing of it. But there are many organizations involved. So love and light to the entire fight. And we'll be getting this all done so I can get there and speak there. We got stuff to do today, right? But the call to action for community efforts, for healing, a call to, enlightenment and empowerment and improvement. Let's do it. Okay. Okay. That type of weekend. That type of weekend. I just know after this weekend, I want a call me, okay, for a karaoke night, for an escape room, for a good movie at the movie theater. It's like I need some fun after these. It's heavy. It's been heavy around here. We came up out of that retrograde, and I swear the energy is still. Let's get it together, okay? So much going on. This weekend I was notified of the passing of a family member. So shout out to Big Chris, shout out to Magnificent. I don't know if you watch my moments, but I love you to pieces, little brother. And shout out and love to you. I'm trying to get the dates, chat. I don't even know what day I'm in. Okay, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's not a good thing. I think today's the 26th. Looking at my calendar, it looks like today's the 26th. So I don't know any end of July birthdays per se. Oh no, Joshua Moore. Happy birthday to Josh. Um, that's the end of the July birthday. But I will say this, we're in Leo season, okay? Yeah, it just got real bright in here. Showtime, show lights, camera, action up in here, okay? So happy birthday to the Leos, all the Lion Mans. We're in here. We're in here. It's about to get real famous. um, so love and light to you. If it's your birthday, celebrating you always here in a moment of harmony. Your light is always welcome. Your life is always welcome. And I'm always excited about you. I'm always excited about you. And now we're going to move into today. So we took a brief break to do a special last Wednesday in response to a lot of community efforts and a lot of the mayhem in the city of Baltimore regarding some of the most recent, you know, issues, circumstances. And I don't want to even say that Baba Ade's circumstance was the only circumstance. There's so much going on. And so we took took a moment, and we did a special to just address it and to just send love and to healing and to send healing. So if you caught that, thank you for like, sharing, and subscribing. Thank you for being a part of such a vulnerable moment, and thank you for being a part of moments in general. Just always here. It's always love. Now, let's get into today's moment. Even though I'm quite exhausted and I'm quite spent because there's been so much really going on, we're going to have a moment today. You showed up, I showed up, we sat down, we waited all week. We're going to have a moment today. I promise you it won't be the draggy, saggy, sad moment of crazy weekend. It is going to be the moment that we all look forward to every week. A moment for us to breathe, a moment for us to perspective shift, and most importantly, a moment for us to grow and glow together. So we're still going to do that today. Okay, as you can see, as I'm speaking, the energy is doing what it needs to do. Come on, girl, wake up, get it together. Okay. We are in a series entitled I Know You Lying. We're in a mini series for the end of July. This is actually going to go into August, especially because we took a week last week to pivot. This is going to go into August, but it's our July series of I Know You Lying. And we have 2 more weeks of this. This is the second week of it. We did the first week of so the whole I Know You Lying in July is all about naysayers. It's the negative conversations you have with yourself about what you can't do, about what's not working out for you, about where you are now in your space and time. We're going against that. It's not working for us. It is external negative force that is opposing you, discrediting you, discouraging you. No, no, I know you lying. We doing this, okay? We're doing this. This thing called life, this thing called great things, big things, wonderful things is happening, okay? So I know July is where we are in July. We're closing out July with it because next week we're in our last week of July. When you see me again for another moment of harmony, will be at the beginning of August, but we'll still be finishing up the last 2. So we started out with we going against people telling us we can't. Today we're talking about won't. People telling us what we won't do. Us telling ourselves what we won't do. I know July. You shouldn't. What we shouldn't be doing. Oh, I can't wait to get into that because we're going to get into all just like the religious components, the societal components, the generational components of what you should and shouldn't, who we should. Y'all know I can't wait to get into that next week. And then we're going to close out with what you aren't. People trying to tell you what you are not, who you are and who you aren't. You trying to go ahead and attack what you are and say what you aren't. I know you lying. We're finishing up. I know you lying with that, and then we'll probably be in the middle of August before we get into the August series. So maybe we'll only do 2 weeks in August so we can get caught up, and so we'll be going deep. Hey, Mr. Carter. Welcome. You're always welcome. No worries. Um, so maybe we'll only do 2 in August, and that way we can get caught back up to being on track with the months that we are in, because we've been spilling over. The July series is going over in August, and I feel like it's going to do that all the way into 2027 if we don't regulate it. So finish out I Know July for the rest of July in the middle of August, 2 weeks of August, and we're going to get into that series, and then we'll move back into September. Can y'all believe it's here already? We are we move back into our 4 week series starting in September. 2026 for A Moment of Harmony has been a series of mini series, and that's what we've been doing all year long. We're taking it all the way to 2027 with 1 month at a time, one moment at a time, as we grow and realign. Bars. Okay, and I have a crazy crank in my neck. I slept crazy last night, like I knew I was going to, sitting up at some victims murder victims garden. I knew I wasn't gonna sleep, and now my neck is crazy. So bear with me as I keep on with all this stuff today. I think we covered all the birthdays. I think I got the announcements out the way. I'm ready to get into this moment. I don't want it to be a long moment. I have enough other draggy stuff to do today. Okay, I just would like to have fun with this moment. Y'all ready? You want to have fun? Y'all trying to grow and glow and do this thing? Let's have fun. I need some fun. Okay. Pushing your will through your won't. This is what today's Moment of Harmony is entitled in our No July series. Pushing your will through your won't. For those of you who are out here and you are in the month of July of 2026, you are, and people will watch this later, the message will resonate as it needs to. But if you are in the month of July, you are 200 something days into the year. Okay, it's only 365 days. You know what I'm saying? More than halfway. We did a halfway point in June. So we are more than halfway through the year. You are 200 some odd days into the year of 2026, and you set some goals. You had some expectations, some standards, an outline for the way you wanted your 2026 to look. And as you are looking at it, it's looking back at you, and you might not be happy with what you are seeing, and you might be beginning to settle into the fact that it won't happen. The love won't happen, the life won't happen, the money won't happen, the successes won't happen. Before we pivoted to do the special as a response to the attack here in Baltimore City that rang around the city, um, we were in the I can't. And I was speaking about my baby brother Victorious in the moment, and I told the story of how he was telling me on a day when my horoscope had told me I was gonna have this wonderful day, and it was not a wonderful day. And I felt really upset and discouraged at the end of the day. And I told him it was a sucky day, and horoscope said it was gonna be a great day. And my brother, and I'm zooming through the story, and my brother said, "Listen, it only takes one moment. It takes one moment to have the best day of your life." And I didn't finish the story in that moment we were speaking in, because my brain, so I just went on to the next thing. But I wanted to, for those who never heard the end of that story, my brother was right. He said that. He said it only takes one moment. We were in the grocery store. We were getting stuff for my son's birthday party. And when I got back home, I had friends and family who had surprised me, showed up to the birthday party for my son, came to support. We had an amazing night. And it ended up being one of those nights that, you've had those nights. That's just like, I could rest my head on a night like this forever. It was a beautiful night. Just friends, just family, just peace, this reassurance, just community, just warmth, just solid. It was a solid night from a horrible day. So I wanted to end that. I was like, you didn't even tell him that he was right. You told him what he said, but he was right. The day changed. The horoscope was right. Turned into a wonderful day. So when I come into, and I say all of that to say, when we get into the point of where we are in this year, to start to feel like something won't happen because it hasn't happened yet. You haven't met that person yet. You haven't signed up for that course yet. You haven't seen the numbers you wanted to see on your health reports or your scale or your bank accounts. Because it has not happened yet, you may have begun to settle and it won't. Or most people have begun to wish that it won't, externally. Or most people begin to settle that the goals and the dreams and the what is it, the accomplishments that you set out for at the beginning of the year, they just won't happen. It's just not. You're letting it go. You're saying, oh, I think I'm stuck here at this job, or I'm stuck in this relationship status, or I'm stuck in this mindset, or you're stuck in this physical place, mental place, spiritual, energetic space. And we're saying, no, I know you lying. Okay? In July, you lying. You lying if you're telling yourself these things, and cut it out, Pinocchio. All right? We are going to believe that this show ain't nowhere near over. Okay, I don't care if it is December 31st, 2026. We are believing in the best. We are working towards the best, and we are moving towards the best in ourselves. And we are making the most incredible things happen for us. Now, again, I'm not talking about like old wishful thinking on Harmony, you just saying stuff to make us feel good. I am telling you, we're going to get into it today when we're talking about not quantifying milestones. Spiritual milestones don't happen on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday time scale. They don't happen in a 12-month, 365 type of situation. Spiritual milestones. And when we begin to really embrace what that means to be frequency oriented and operationally within frequencies, not only do we speed things up, but we also align things, meaning they come just as they should, just when they should, and we are so open and receptive to it, and in a generally open understanding to it, even in the time frame that it's not happening at the moment. What are you talking about in this moment? I got you. Stay with me, okay? Now, pushing your will through your won't. We've come a time 200 something days into the year, your will is telling you, I still want this. Your will is saying, this is why I planned this in the first place. There are things all around you reminding you of why you said this was your last year. This was your last moment. This was your last time in this season, in this predicament, in this situation. There, all the time, your will is pushing you to say, this is not for you. I know it hasn't aligned. The phone call hasn't come in yet. The confirmation has not yet hit your email. And you are starting to feel like it won't. Your will is letting you know it hasn't given up. You still dreaming about it. You can still see it in your mind. You can taste it, okay? It's still very much a part of who you are. And it keeps you going and motivated that you're moving towards it. That means that the won't that seems ever pressing and precedent in your face, your will is strong enough to push through, right? Thy will be done. Now, I know everybody in here is on a different spiritual wavelength. You're in a different spiritual space. Shout out to Auntie. You're in a different spiritual space. Listen, you safe here. You're welcome here. It's nothing but love and respect. If you got light in your heart, you're in the right. If it's light, you're right for me, okay? You're in the right space. So you will hear me use references from everywhere. But we are going to be able to look into the will that is stronger than the won't, and the will that is your inner guidance, your spirit, your grit, um your your push, right? Your own internal force, your will. And for those who want a spiritual wavelength that believe that they are part of a source energy where there is a high source will, that's the will I'm talking about too. Okay? Because I am personally Jinyame. I believe it's all one, right? So that when thy will is my will. When I am in alignment with energy and source energy. So your will that pushes through your wants. So we're gonna get some tools and some thoughts on that today, and that's what we're gonna get done in this moment. When we get done with this moment, when someone tells you something that's not gonna happen or something that doesn't seem likely, I know you lying. I know you lying, talking about what won't happen over here, and I am a well of overflow. I'm a well of abundance. You ain't seen nothing yet. 200 days in, you still ain't seen it. Okay, now pushing your will through your won't. Now, one of the first things when we get into pushing our will through our won't, when we start to feel like um, this is not going to happen. I've been patient. I've been diligent. Um, I've been manifesting. I've been putting in action, and this just won't happen. Other people telling us, "Are you still hung up on that? You still trying to do that? You still think that's a thing?" I don't think the cards are aligning. I don't think that the stars are aligning in your favor. And people are saying, like, look, it's not going to happen. You won't be this. You're too old for this. You're too young for that. You don't have enough money or experience for this. You don't have the resources for that. It just won't happen. Most people are putting that type of energy onto us, or we are subscribing to that type of energy, because we are more proof over patience, right? We have put our energy and our all of our faith into proof over patience. I need proof that my name is being mentioned in the right rooms for the right things at the right time. I need proof that this person feels a certain way about me and will do a certain things for and with, around, and concerning me and us. I need proof that this vision that I see, these things that I'm looking at, I'm looking at these houses, or I'm looking at these art projects, I'm looking at these new jobs. I need proof that these things are leaning in my favor more than I have patience for them to lean in my favor. Okay, proof over patience and facts over faith. We are in a society that drives that, let me tell you. And the reason why the society drives that, y'all know it always comes back to capitalism. It comes back to capitalism. Society pushes that so much because if we need proof over patience, we won't wait and we'll pay for it. You'll pay for your body. You'll pay for your expedited credentials. You'll pay for the things you don't want to wait for. And so this society pushes. You'll go and you'll have, you'll swipe right 100 times you rather swipe right than wait for Mr. Right. You rather swipe right than wait for Mrs. Right. If you need proof, because right here in the phone you can see it and you have control and you can move it. You're having your proof over your patience. And there's a reason why patience is a virtue. Excuse me. A divine characteristic. Patience is a divine characteristic because, like I spoke of earlier, when we talk about the a frequency and a force, it is not quantified on a time clock of societal structure. Actually, we can see in many time frames how a societal structure built on capitalism and profit is in no way in alignment with divine order and energy and the seasons that come and go. Right? We can see that, well, especially us as women, when we're in a moon phase, how society doesn't care if you working or moving, or things don't accommodate nature, is what I'm really getting at. You live in a society that blatantly does not accommodate nature. They've begun to grow certain fruits and vegetables all year round, because why would they have patience and they would rather have proof when they would rather have facts over faith? Why wait on nature to let you know when it is time if you can make it time? That is a society that is not one with God, but that is that does in fact have a God complex. And those are two different energies, two different operational frames. And when we get on this quantification of when something should have happened by now, better happen by tomorrow, needs to happen, and if it doesn't happen in this time frame, we start to feel like it won't. It's just not for me. We start to give up. We start to say, we're not at a moment of harmony. I know you lying. I know you lying. If you think I'm going to say that beauty is not mine, that joy is not mine, victory is not mine, love is not mine, abundance is not my name, you lost it. You lost it. Your mind, and I won't lose mine with you. Okay, if that's what you're thinking, because it's mine. It belongs to me. But it belonged to me before I was formed in the womb, and it will belong to me now as I am glowing in the world. Okay, so proof versus patience and facts over faith is a detrimental mindset of capital gain and God complexity. Um, and when you realize that that type of pressure is being put on your own timelines, it's being put in your own planning, and you begin to pivot and shift, you will begin to have gratitude in the stage in which you are in, and you will honor and acknowledge the stages which you are in as a production stage. If you are diligently working, now I'm not saying you start and stop. If you get motivated, you put some energy towards it. I'm saying if you are daily doing your rituals or your affirmations, your routines, your breath work, your journaling, your working out, your communal congregating in your spiritual spaces, whatever you are doing, you're working on it regularly. You're working on yourself to be aligned with what it is you desire regularly. If you are regularly working on it, you are in a creative energy. You are creating it. Working creates working constitutes creation. And the working phase is a part of the reality. So for someone to tell you that something won't happen because it hasn't happened is such an alarming misdirection of your energy and faith, because the working process is part of the process. Um, when you accomplish it, people will ask you, how did you get here? And where will you start in your story of production of whatever has been created? You're going to start at the beginning. You're going to start at when you just wanted it. You're going to start at when you were just planning it. You're going to start at when you were just thinking about it and telling your friends about it. And then you're going to start at those beginning bricks you started to lay to get towards it. I can't tell you how many love stories I've heard, and it said, I wasn't even looking for anybody. I was out working on myself, and I was at this convention for work, and da 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 da. That's the beginning of the love story. The love story doesn't start at the pulpit. The love story doesn't start on bended knee. It's not where it starts. You are in the beginning of your victory story right now. It starts right now when you're up late at night planning and building and creating and reconstructing. It starts right now when you are relentless in giving up on your endeavors, when you are working on yourself, you're not seeing results and you're refusing to give up. This is where the victory story is starting. I remember a long time ago hearing the story of McDonald's and how the McDonald's, the person that started and created McDonald's, a massive $1 billion poisonous industry, but industry nonetheless. When it started, he started out of the trunk of his vehicle selling burgers and like ready-made quick food to People working in factories, pulling up on the factories with lunch in his trunk of his vehicle to sell it as fast food for those that didn't bring lunch or that wanted something different for lunch. But those factory workers could come out. McDonald's trunk of a Cadillac. I don't know if it was a Cadillac. You know what I'm saying? Trunk of a car. That's the start. That is a start. That working on it constitutes it being real. So how somebody gonna tell you something won't be that already is beginning is what my point is. How can someone tell you something won't be that's already birthed? It's in the process. When that baby crowns is not when that baby got here. It's not the beginning of the journey. Okay, at the beginning of the journey, not even the positive pregnancy test. Okay, us grown folk know it started somewhere else, and it started from working on it. You gotta work on it. Okay, so for those of us that are so anchored to this proof over patience, this fact over faith lifestyle, I want us to move away from it. It is not your way. It is not spiritual alignment. It is not proper perspective. It is not conducive to your creating force. And you, my love, are a creating force, all on your own. Jianyame, you are one with creation. Therefore, you have the force of creation within your mind, body, heart, soul, and spirit at all times. And at any time that you think you don't, that's when you won't. That's the only time you won't. Because you created that. You said you couldn't, and so you did it. But I promise you, if you say you can, okay, if you say you will, if you say for certain it's coming, it's already yours. Well, Harmony, do you know how much stuff I've been willing? I've been saying it's going to happen. I've been waiting to happen. Where is it? This is why I'm saying won't. Not proof over patience, not facts over faith. That's not how we're moving. We moving in balance. Yes, we want our proof. The fact that you are still here is very much proof that won't is not your story. For people who said you won't make it, for people who said you won't get out the hood, or people who said you won't get out the country, or people who said you won't become something with yourself, you won't get through that divorce, you won't get through that death or loss. You are, the proof is you if you need it. Okay, the facts for those that are moving in facts, because we need the balance. You need balance of the proof, the patience, the facts, and the faith. But we're definitely not putting the latter over, or we're not putting the proof over the patience and the facts over the faith. Not divine beings of light. Okay, we're not doing that. We didn't come here for that. That's not our main tool. That's not even in our toolbox first, right? So, the facts. The facts are that you've been beating the odds by, and can I talk? You've been beating the odds since conception. Every single thing that could have gone wrong for you has not. You could have been a miscarriage and you weren't. You could have been an abortion and you weren't. You could have been. We see the stories all the time of what could be. You sitting right here today, living, breathing well, on a moment, could have had a whole different you. We've seen children getting kidnapped. We see people get trafficked. We see people spending their whole lives in prison. I mean, we've seen it all. It's all around on all the TVs. Is it your story? Is it your story? I know you heard of it. I know you saw it somewhere. But has your story been one of defeat? Are you not here? Are you not capable? Is tomorrow not waiting for you like it is for us all? Has today not been blessed to you? Okay, then that's the facts. The facts are you've beat a lot of odds to get where you are. There's been a lot of obstacles. There's been a lot of downfalls. There's been external sabotage, self-sabotage. There's been so many things that come against, and look at you, still here. The facts are you've beaten a lot of odds. So what you sitting up in here looking at odds for, scared of them? You've been whipping them, right? You've been curving them. You've been swerving them bars. So if you need facts, it's in the mirror. If you need proof of the miracles coming your way, look at the miracle that is your way. That is you. Now, um, when we get into it hasn't happened, to further expound. It hasn't happened yet, Harmony. You keep on, you on marriage number such and such, or no marriage at all. You're on, you're on course. What is it called? Semesters number whatever in school, and the grades not looking like you don't know if you can make it through. You're looking at something right in front of you, and you're saying, this is the type of proof that I want. I want real proof. I want real numbers. I want real results, or else I'm feeling. I want you to keep in mind, again, like I talked about, the force of quantifying frequency through this quality of life. Okay, so we cannot quantify the qualities of life, meaning spiritual milestones are not something you can count on a calendar. Spiritual milestones are not something you can set in years. Look how fast time is moving. It's almost lightning alarming we're at the end of July, and I feel like I just was crying about the end of June a week ago. Okay? Time is not the frequency on which, not this time, not the time, oh, let's say the construct of time is not the time in which frequency and spiritual alignment operate on. It has nothing to do with your planetary alignments. It has nothing to do with energetic shifts and time frames. It has nothing to do with seasons of actualization and spiritual enlightenment. Those time frames, Monday through Friday, 12 a.m. to 12 p.m., January to January, are not time frames that were built in alignment and in order with frequency of life force energy or source energy. Now, if we want to go back to, there were other cultures. Culturally, African culture was big on it. The Mayans were big on it. Native American. There were many cultures that did build their actual life operational time scopes on the time frames of spiritual alignment, meaning using nature, using when the sun came up and when the sun went down. That's not this capitalistic society we live in. This capitalistic society tells you when to move time forward, when to move it back, when to make it daytime more longer, when to make it nighttime longer. This is the type of society that tells you, in this season we selling bathing suits and we don't care what the weather looks like outside. Okay? We know y'all still at the beach, but we're gonna go ahead and put that back to school stuff front and center, long sleeves, fall clothes, because we dictate the time. I want you to understand that in such confusion and dysfunction in a societal time scope structure such that we live in, it is disorienting to your mind, your body, and your spirit. And you will start to believe that what the commercials say, or what's happening in the stores, or what your job is saying quarterly, this is due and this is what the numbers should look like. You will start to believe that these time frames dictate an actual time frame or actual scope of your success, your arrival, your readiness, and your alignment. And then you wonder why so many of us are anxious and depressed, on pills, need to see therapists, unhappy. I mean, unhappy, overweight, stressed out, because we are constantly operating, right? A woman's body. Why I love being a woman and I absolutely love my body. My body tells me what season I am in, about what phase I am in. A luteal phase, a menstruating phase, all of the phases. It lets me know this your rest season. It doesn't matter what, if it's the beginning of the month and rent is due or mortgage is due. My body tells me my rest season, when it's time for me to go hard, when it's time for me to be creative, when is the best time for me to journal in thoughts and to create good energy, when is the best time for me to accept help, or more time for me to be more focused independently on aspirations. My body speaks to me. And I'm not saying that only happens for women. I'm certain that men, I've never been one, but I'm certain that y'all have your own phases where your own spirit, your own conscious, and your own wellness is speaking to you and saying, basketball tournament all weekend, not this weekend, bruh. Or you have more energy than normal. You want to go build a tree house and fix a bike, and then you have another phase where you just want to be cuddly and you want to be soft and you big and you macho. I'm saying seasons of self are dictating and letting us know they are proof of spiritual seasoning, of our separate spiritual milestones. We call them mood swings. We call them life phases. Oh, you in a midlife crisis, or you're in what do they say about the teenagers? You're in a hormonal phase. So these are the seasons of self, letting us know that nature tells us a time and a way of operation, and that we are disoriented. When to sleep. We can't take a nap. My body tells me when I need a nap, what I've done. But this society would have me to believe that I am on the same sleep schedule, and I am on the same work schedule, and I am on the same thought and operational schedule as 7 billion people. We all move exactly the same. We're in the same, even though our bodies are doing something different. Pregnant women, different seasons. It speak to us. They'll tell you when you have a baby to put your baby on a feeding schedule. Foolishness. Okay, if you put your baby on a feeding schedule, do you, mama? Do what makes you work. I'm talking nature. Okay, not against you, just against abnormal anti-nature practices. 5 babies. Okay, 5 babies out this body alone, and a grandbaby, and no feeding schedules. Your baby lets you know when you're hungry. Your body, for all of those mommies out there who have been engorged, it say don't feed the baby for another hour on that schedule, but your body is saying you're leaking and the baby needs to eat now. And we have gone to get a baby to relieve ourselves, because operating on one, now we have to live here, we have to be a part of this. I'm not saying to be insane and just say, well, I get to work when I get to work, and I eat whenever I feel like it, forget my lunch break. Listen, you have to survive here. I'm not telling anyone not to be a survivor, but what I am trying to tell you is to not be susceptible to insane, a clock, this clock on your life that lets you know what you will and won't do, and you are and are not capable of. You cannot quantify a quality of life. You can't fit that into this couple of years. You can't fit that into by this time next year. You can't fit that into at the end of this week. This needs to happen. Yes, we can have plans. Yes, we should. Yes, we can have goals. Yes, we can work towards goals. But for us to put a lid on what would or wouldn't happen based on an external, non-natural time frame is detrimental to you, and is what is making you believe in your want. And I don't want you to believe in your want. That's not even, what are we doing that for, right? So, and the reason you are doing that again is because you are subscribing to, oh, by the time I'm 30, or by the time my children graduate from high school, or, right? And I'm letting you know you cannot quantify a quality of life. That's not something that you could. There is a frequency and a time force that you are spiritually working on that works just for you, in just your favor, in just the way you operate, in just the way you'll digest, in the perfect way to unfold in your life at the perfect time. And you just have to diligently move towards that, believe and work in that frame. Remember, we said earlier, if you're working on it, it's happening already. It's already happening. And so now you're just waiting for the flower to bloom out of the ground. And who told you it's going to bloom at Friday at 3 o'clock? Stop it. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to bloom? Absolutely. When the weather is what it needs to be, when your backyard is what it needs to be, when the sun shines just at the direction it needs to shine, and that flower is going to bloom. I'm talking about nature. The flower is going to bloom. The rain will come out of the sky. This is why the things like the news forecast, these things are predictive. They're I shouldn't say predictive. That's not the word I was looking for. They are possible predictions. Highly likely, less likely, not matter of factly. We're living on what is coming to us on a matter of fact basis, and not keeping in mind that we're on a spiritual frequency. I know you're on a 24-hour situation, but you're on a spiritual frequency. Um, I keep having this thought, and then I don't speak on it, and then it leaves, and then it comes back while I'm in another thought. Period days. Nobody told me the days would be like this. Okay, pray for me. I hope it comes back because it's relative. Okay, we cannot quantify the quality of life, right? When we get into the space of trying to think that um, we we know what should be happening right now or not happening right now, and I'll give an example of why I won't ever, like they say never. Why won't is not a part of my plan. Why abundance is where I stand, where I plant, and where I watch and water for things to grow. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm 40 years old. I just turned 40 in 2026, and I believe that what society will tell me is that my best years are behind me, right? 20s, 25 to from 20s to 30s, right? That the most fun I'll ever have, the most freedom I'll ever have, the most I'll ever enjoy another person is in that time frame. It tries to make us feel that way. It's false. It's false. I actually have never been more stressed, more worried, more self-conscious, more lost than I was in my 20s. I absolutely love my 40s so far. Love them because it is filled with the vibrancy of my youth, but the wisdom of my experiences. It is the perfect sandwich to me. Okay? Now, society will tell me that if you're going to get married young, get married while y'all can still have fun, while y'all can still do things. I personally believe that the marriage I have in my 40s is going to be the best version of a marriage I could ever have. I feel that way. And I think that because my children are growing up, my children are the and not just me personally, right? I try to make it more general. I done broke my nail talking to y'all. Trying to make it more general, right? But my children are growing up. My schedule has shifted, and now am I still a busy mom? Absolutely. But has it shifted in the type of busy I am? Absolutely, right? And the finances, the career is the most stable and secure that it is normally at this time frame. Your understanding of who you are is most clearest. Your tolerance, your lessons, which you're less likely, the traps you're less likely to walk into of insecurity or manipulation. Like there's just, you're certain. I'm so certain, all right? And I'm so good. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it was this push. As I'm 40, I'm looking back like, wow, is there this big push on like do everything now, best time of your life, right away. And I realized that the clock I was on wasn't the clock I was in. And I was subscribing to a clock that wasn't in alignment with my spiritual journey, enlightenment, and milestones. That wasn't the best passion of my life. Child, my passion, okay, is different at 40. That wasn't the most creative I will ever be. My creativity is through the what I can do with my mind is way more than I ever had confidence I could do with it at 20s. But if the society had its way, it was telling me, okay, that was the greatest body I was in. Love this body. Can't tell me nothing about it. Okay. They told me that was the best, time to be adventurous and to try new. I am so excited, super excited. I enjoy fun now more than I did then because I'm doing it without a diaper bag and breastfeeding. Okay. So what I am saying is that if we continue to let external voices and forces tell us you won't have joy if you haven't had it yet. You won't have peace if you haven't had it yet. You can't obtain success if the success you're looking for hasn't shown up yet. I want to be here to say, not only spiritually, but and figuratively, but also very, very realistically, your spiritual milestone is not that of anyone else. Now, somewhere in the world, there is a woman that does feel like her best times was in her 20s. She went to Juilliard School for the Art, and she was a ballerina, and she traveled the world, and she was carefree, and now she's older and she's raising children, and she may feel like that was her. That is why I'm saying your will through your won't is what is most important. This just so happens to be now, this is my college years. These are my explorative years. These are my get out and do what you love. This is my my freedom years. These are my loving her, having all the fun, doing what she wants to do. This is that time for me. Your will. Your will. You cannot quantify the quality of life. For years and years and years, I would say, by the time my children, even when it comes to my children, having a grandchild, I can remember thinking, like, get this all right the first time. I'm not going to say we don't. We shouldn't. We should still strive for that. But I remember thinking that the type of mother I was the end all be all for these people and what they needed. But look at me as a grandmother with a second chance at doing it all over again and shedding new light on old parenting theories. And come on, don't stick to the script. Don't stick to a script that was written for you. If there's a script out there, let it be spiritually scribed in your own season of self. Okay? We can't quantify it. So let's not already sit up here and say it won't happen. The degree won't happen. The marriage won't happen. The signing the deed or the lease won't happen, or it's happening. Okay, your will is what dictates what will. Pause. And if you still have a will for walking the stage, if you still have a will for walking the aisle, if you still have the will for walking into your new company or corporation, it will. It will. And it's going to come to you, like I spoke of, things that are coming to me in my 40s that I was thinking about in my 20s, when it's supposed to, as it should, as it is best received. There are so many things I get now, and I'm trying to figure out, dang, what I could have done with this in my 20s or 30s. Wasted it, worried it away, immatured it on down to the ground. I'm getting it when I am supposed to have it, when I can most actualize it into the greatest version of myself. That's how I know the greatest partner is coming. Now, I know that the greatest life chapter for me is now, because I know where spiritually in the milestones I've been moving to receive what's coming my way. It is not that it won't, because it hasn't. It is because you are moving into your space of will in order for you to have it. Bars. Okay, let's get out of here. Okay, we almost at the hour. Let's go on and clean this moment up. But pushing through your will, or pushing your will through your won't, 200 something days into the year, no one should be at the point where we believe in this just isn't happening. This thing that I want, this thing that I worked hard, all of these detours, all of these disappointments, all of this restart, and it's just, no. It's going to happen for you just as it should, just when it should, just how it should, as you align in your spiritual self where you belong to be. Now, I want us to get to the point where we're able to say, the only thing I won't do. When people say, oh, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I don't know if this is going, if that's a good look for you. I don't know if you should be still trying to do that. Most people do that later on in life, or most people do that earlier in life, or most people do it when they have this type of thing in alignment, or most people go after it when they already listen. The only thing I won't do, that's how we're moving, that's how we're sending this moment off today. The only thing I won't do, for those of you who have external forces saying, no, you won't make it in time to be considered for that new position, or you won't have the qualifications for the new direction that you want to go into, or no, you won't be able to have more children at this age, or you won't be able to afford this trip that you're trying, whatever the won't is, because Lord knows people are one. That's the thought. It just came back. Whew. Thank you, thought, because I thought I was going to close the moment without the thought. People love to predict the future. They love it. Okay, it's nothing but a bunch of Miss Cleos and Mr. Cleos out here. They love to predict the future. Why then, if you know the future so well, are you only a one-sided predictor? How come you can only tell me the things that won't happen? How come you can only tell me the things that aren't good for me? How come you can only tell me what things and harm await me? Girl, don't do that. I don't think you know what's going to happen. You know what he's going to do. You know what she's going to do. You know what's going to happen if you do. You are the worst psychic, okay? Because all you know are the worst things. If people knew what was coming for you, it would sound a lot more balanced. Okay, when you get into alignment with yourself, what you predict for yourself will be a lot more balanced. Yes, you'll have discernment for the things that may not be great, that you don't want to partake in, but you also will understand that, and when I do it this way, peace is mine, victory is mine, love is mine, trust is mine, forgiveness, rebuilding, regrowth. Okay, it is not the time you are being forced through. It is the time and the force within you. I have a very close friend that's going to appreciate that. May the force be with you. Let it be with you and not against you, okay? Let the force that's working within you be very much in alignment for you, and not be so forced on a time frame and a mind frame that is not yours, was never yours in the first place, but was put in place for the convenience of corporation. Are you a corporation? Are you an LLC? Okay? Or are you a spirit? Okay? A SPIRIT. Are you a being of light? LLC, LIGHT. Which one are you? Okay? Now, if you are a light, yes, you want to be working on this corporate time. Like they like to say, demon time, all them times, okay? You're going to work on that to get to work on time. You're going to work on that to meet your quotas, to pay your bills on time. You're going to work on that to make sure that you in alignment with these semesters for school and the children's report cards and all the other stuff you need to time this stuff on. But when it comes to you, your spiritual wellness, and your successful alignment, your light and your glory. You are not about to tie that to a clock on the wall. Your success, your greatness, your victory is too big for a clock on the wall. Okay? What is possible for you is whatever is in you. Whatever you are giving birth to, whatever you are giving life to, whatever you are giving energy to, that's what's possible for you. Yes, still in July, still in August, in September, I'm still saying it's still coming. When you are ready, and when it is ready for you, and when it is the most absolute perfect time for you to have exactly what you've already started in your own life. The only thing I won't do, Mr. Missy, boss, friend, family member, only thing I won't do is fail. I just won't stop this thing. That's the only thing I won't do. But will I? Absolutely. Will this come true for me? Will this come to fruition for me in some way or space or state in this spiritual life space for me? Yes. It will all come as it should come. Only thing that won't is failure. Okay? Only thing I won't do. That's the only time I want y'all to use won't. It's been this long. I don't know if it's nope, 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 nope. Only thing I won't do is stop it, shorty. I'm keeping this ball moving. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to win. We're going to grow. We're going to glow. We're going to get back up. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to recalibrate. We're going to regroup. We're going to reconstruct. And then guess what? We're going to be victorious. I love you all so very much. Thank you for joining me for another moment of harmony. I went over just a little bit when I wanted to go under. Only thing I can't do, you know what I'm saying, stay up under that owl. I love y'all so much, and thank you for joining me for a moment of harmony. Thank you all for your well wishes and your prayers and your messages. You guys are the greatest friends a girl can have, the greatest exchangers in the community. Like I said, the numbers have been fluctuating, and we've had a small crew lately. But you guys are the best crew. And I do it for the frequency of forever. Anyway, it's not even really for an algorithm of today per se. But I'm on a frequency of forever. And I'm glad to be on a forever frequency with you all. And I love you all so much. Thank you for your love. We got this. Continue to take really good care of yourself. Do what needs to be done for you. Be that guy and be that girl. Take really good care of that guy and that girl. And I love you. Love you to life. And going out your way after you've done some really good things for yourself. Because Lord knows after these couple of weeks, I need to go do really good things for myself. Okay? And you got it, Mr. Carter. We got to do some really good things together. I need fun. Okay? I'm telling y'all right there. I'm speaking that out. Fun. After you've done some really good things for yourself, go on and take really good care of someone else. And we're going to do that. We're going to be good to ourselves. We're going to be good to life. Life's going to be good to us. And thank you all for being so good in your moment with me. I will see you next week for another moment of harmony.